How do you become more confident? What is confidence? Why are some people able to just do everything and look as if they have it totally figured out? And what use is it to actually be like that? Well, to begin with, when you have that confidence, people will listen to what you say way more than if you were somebody who just kind of danced around, were unsure, didn't speak clearly, etc. Now, this is a part of our human evolution. This is a part of millions of years of learning how to get along socially. And they call it honest signals. When you talk to people, you are conveying through your body language, your tone, your different cadence, etc., all of this information about what you feel on the inside. And then people in turn use what are called mirror neurons to feel back what it is you're projecting through your body language and emotions. So, this is what causes other people to follow or to listen to other people, right? It's this certainty, confidence, etc. All right. Well, that brings us to the question then, should everyone be confident with everything they say and everything they do? No, they should not. There's a reason for it. Some people have this thing called Dunning-Kruger effect. It's where you think that you know something or you think that you understand all of the components of a thing, but you really just know kind of a little bit about it. And this causes you then to act very confident as if you know everything about it, and you end up portraying yourself as this person who can lead other people, right? But really, they don't know enough. They're quite dumb, and they end up causing a lot of problems usually. I think we've all met these people. Usually, it's more something that happens to lower IQ, although it can happen on the other end of the spectrum too. All right, so I'm going to give you now what it is that allows you to have confidence, right? So the very first thing is not thinking. That alone will give you all the confidence in the world. It's the dumbest thing ever. And it took me a long time to learn this. If you want to be confident and portray yourself well, because here's the benefits. If you come across as someone who knows what they want, knows what to do, where to go, what people should be doing, the world literally just rolls out a red carpet. It's crazy. I hate to say this out loud, but it's because most people are followers, and most people, they're totally scared, totally lost. And if anyone comes up with a little bit of charisma, they will do whatever that person says because they're looking at that body language, those little things that are happening in people's cadence, etc. And they're taking this, oh, this person knows what's going on. They know what's happening. And I mean, they say that this is what should be done and that it'll end up being this good thing. So I'll just listen to them because they're in a state of fear and terror on the inside and they have to have something to hold on to. So this can be taken very badly too. If you have people with a lot of charisma and confidence, they can, lead a whole nation into doing pretty awful things. But in the same, you can see a pastor, you can see someone who is like a spiritual leader, and then they can get huge spiritual movements going on throughout, an entire country and end up leading people to be better. I mean, look at Gandhi, look at Mother Teresa. You have tons of people, John Witt. The list goes on and on. But here's the trick, okay? Don't think. That's really the biggest key to confidence. Now that sounds ridiculous, right? Don't you want the person who is confident to think the most? Don't you want them to be the one who has everything figured out and knows? Well, yeah. But here's the thing. In this world, right, when it comes to leading lots of people, no one person can know all of the right answers. It's impossible. Whenever you look at a political leader, someone who's at the top, a president, a prime minister, whoever, they will get up and they will say, I know what to do and I know where to take us. I know the promised land and I will take you there, right? They don't know. They do not know. But what they do know is that if they take a very strong stance and look you in the eye when they, talk about this stuff, that you'll believe them. That's really what it comes down to, right? I'm spilling the beans here. I'm going to get even deeper into this. That, you know, stupid not knowingness, just that total not thinking, makes you convince yourself you know what it is that should be done, all right? When you have no thoughts in your mind and you just project, you just put out there and you let yourself do whatever, you won't hinder yourself. You won't put up roadblocks internally. Because here's the thing, if you're acting, if you're in flow, if you're in motion and you're doing something, like let's say driving a car, if you try to think every single action that you have to do while driving, you will do worse. You'll probably get in a wreck. Like most of the time, if you've been driving for a decade plus, you can drive somewhere and you will end up at a destination. And sometimes if you've just been, your mind on something else, you may arrive and be like, oh, wait a second, I didn't even realize that we were here. I didn't even realize that why am I here again? You're not using your conscious mind to drive. You're using your subconscious mind. So when you use your subconscious mind to act and to just do, you don't put out mixed signals. Now, here's a couple of examples. All right, so I'm going to explain the process and then I'm going to give you an example. When you think a lot with your conscious mind during when you need to take action or when you're communicating, you will have random thoughts that pop up and you'll have to address them as they come up. But if you're in the middle of action, you'll be interrupting yourself. And when you're interrupting yourself during that action, it'll come up in your expressions. It'll come up in like little movements in your eyes, in your kind of posture, how you sit, your tone, etc. And then those little subsignals will convey to the person you're talking to, who will then interpret you as uncertain or not confident. This will cause them to question whether or not you actually know. Because here's the thing, humans think subconsciously that the person who is the most competent just doesn't even have to put any effort into a thing. When you come across as being effortless in whatever it is that you're doing, that's the person who knows what to do. And that's the person that we should follow. So you can't let your thoughts crop up when you're doing something, especially when you're trying to be a leader. It'll kill it because it'll come across as like stuttering. Stuttering is a major issue with confidence and people who overthink. If you are an overthinker to an extreme, most of those people develop stutters or they'll have little breaks in their cadence, things like that, right? Now you might be thinking, why, Justin, are we talking about this on this channel so much and everything? Like what there's a bigger lesson. This inner confidence, this non-thinking presence, right? You also can lead yourself with it. You can convince yourself to do the things that you're supposed to do. This isn't just an outward thing. This isn't just a tricking people thing into going along with whatever you're doing. And here's the thing too, there are also a lot of people. The example I'm going to give is of a scientist, right? Look at Elon Musk type or a Richard Dawkins, name whoever brainy guy you want to talk about, who's somewhat in the public view. When they talk, they do a lot of pauses. They do a lot of like, well, yeah, then oh, okay, but yes, this is what I think about it, and they won't look people in the eye. They're often a little bit, kind of like twitchy when they're talking, and it's because they're thinking. They hear a thing or a question from a person, they bring it back. They don't just let it, flow through the conscious mind. They bring it up into the conscious mind. They then consider it. They maybe make an image in their head or they have a little dialogue for a second, and that comes across in their expressions. followed by they then return it, and then they wonder, what will this other person think about what I'm about to say? And then they also think about how they look or how they're perceived as they're saying it. And then they will, in their communication, their body language, push it out as like, are you in agreement with me? Are you not in agreement with me with what I'm saying? And it's them, they're trying to do the right thing. They're trying to be intellectually honest, which is, honorable, good, etc. But it makes for a bad leader. It really does. And here's why. That group, that crowd, they aren't really thinking at all most of the time. And that other person who is very smart has thought about this stuff a lot. If they're a subject matter expert, like some quantum physicist, or there's some type of like engineer or something like that, they spent thousands of hours designing something, doing some plan or whatever, but they're trying to use that thinking part of their brain when they communicate these things. It doesn't come across well, and they always try to minimize. They always try to go like, well, we have come up with a probability of about 65% that this is going to work. And we believe it is the best course of action for this project. And see, I'm trying to do it to like, project what they're like, and it puts me in a thinking mindset, and then it actually makes me feel a little less confident, or however, right? It kind of like pollutes me when I get into that mode. So here's the thing. It's not going to help you to accomplish what you're trying to do. You need total onboarding commitment from the other people you're trying to lead. And it'll also open doors for you to be able to meet new people and to actually make those higher level connections. And on top of it, this is the best part. When you are truly confident and you turn off that thinking part of your mind when you end up going out to do things, in your day-to-day actions, how you perform will be more efficient. You will act in a flow state. You will just do, and you'll end up being very successful. You will end up, whatever it is you're working on. I do construction, right? I have people who need me all day long. Question, question, question. Where do I go? What do I do with this? How do I do that? I take the time beforehand. I plan. I make a big schedule. And then when it's time to get into the project and it's time to perform, I don't think it through as I'm doing it. I just let the plan unfold and I let it happen. I just tell them this, this, this. And you know what? If I sat there and one of my guys came up to me and they said, "Hey, Justin, what do we do on this project?" Or "What is this thing?" And I'm like, "Oh man, I didn't think about that. No, now, well, I guess we got to do this. And then this is the next step." Guess what's going to happen? In about a week, a month, if I keep doing that, they're going to quit. They're going to leave. They're going to end up finding another job and be like, "This guy doesn't know what he's doing." He's going to end up losing us a lot of money, and I don't know, I might not have a job if I keep working for this guy because he doesn't know anything. You can't do that. And when it comes to the little performances for you yourself, when you're acting, you will find that you will do the things naturally that are the most efficient towards your goals. I am giving you so much right now. I'm trying to break it down so that it's very easy for you to comprehend. But it changes your life massively. Because if you go into that thinking, you go into a state of fear, you're in that state of fear, you end up overcomplicating things, you change back and forth over and over again. Take the time, it's on, off. Plan, think, sit. Do it completely. Act. Do, don't, Think. That's it. Well, with that all being said, that is the video for today. And I hope that it helps you out a lot. Some people are very confused by this whole confidence thing, where it comes from, what it is. Here's another big thing in life in general. This is the final golden nugget if you stick to the end of the video. If you stick around, I like to try and put in the big takeaway at the end. In general, how do you be confident in life? Your areas of competency and what you can affect. Stephen Covey had a very good lesson on this. So you have your inner circle. This is a thing that you can directly affect in life. These are the things that are immediately within your control. You pick up the thing, you drop it, it falls. You do this thing where you tell this person to do this, it happens. The next circle, outside of the inner circle, is your area of influence. Hey, I think we should go do this. I'm a leader. And if we make this happen and you go and you have this thing that you do, I think it'll make it better for all of us, right? You're putting out, leadership. All right. Not something that you can affect. I go out, I do these YouTube videos. This is somewhere that I can kind of affect people, not directly in my control, but I'm putting out a vibe. I'm putting out a, intention, some type of ripple effect. And then the last thing, the outer circle, is things that you can no longer directly affect and or influence. Those things, they're for later. Once you end up building and taking more and more control, that outer area that you're aware of, but that you can't do anything necessarily about, are for in the future when your influence zone expands. Okay? So that area is the uncontrolled. You should not even think about that area really. You can make a note of it, you can be aware of it, but don't think about it. This is where the confidence comes in. In life, if you're a person who is thinking very big and you're considering all of the factors of the whole wide world, like what the price of tea in China is or anything, that is going to put you in a state of massive thinking, right? It's irrelevant. Do not think about things in life that are irrelevant to you. If you put your mental capital into thinking about things that aren't really just in that center core, it's going to cause you, whenever you're taking action in life, to have all these little mental speed bumps. These mental speed bumps will add up on micro levels to create a general state of anxiety. That general state of anxiety and thinking will cause you to come across as non-confident. So this is what's really funny. The best way to come across as competent or confident in life is to be stupid. Don't care about anything besides your immediate world. That's all that matters. And when you put all your mental capital on those things and what you can directly affect and control, you will end up having an understanding of reality, the reality that's related to you, the things that you can affect, the things that you can control. And then you will feel safe. You will feel like you are in control. Now, it's not to say that you just need to always be in control. Really, you're letting go of a lot of things. You're letting all those other things sort themselves. You're letting go of control. But the things that you can control, right? Focus only on those, and then you will feel as if that you are the person who is affecting reality, and you are the person that can make things happen. You will come across to everyone around you as this hyper charismatic, confident person, and your brain will put more bandwidth on focusing on what you can do. That will make you hyper intelligent in your domain. You are unlocking. You ever heard people say, this is it's not true, that really all throughout the day, you're only using like 10% of your brain to do any one thing, and the rest of your brain is not being used? That's not really how it works. But think in that paradigm, if you get rid of everything out of your mind that's irrelevant to you and put your focuses on what is relevant, you can use more of your brain to do the things that are relevant to you, and you'll perform better. Your confidence way up. You'll look cooler. So, okay, that's it for today. 20-minute video. Thank you for watching. Later today, we're going to do a live stream and we're going to do reality mapping. Last time it was on cycles. We are going to do it on cycles again, but this is going to be a part 2 where we break apart the high and the low in cycles and how you should be in each of those. It's I really think important to break it down more so that we can get a better understanding of it. All right, that's going to be something like 5 p.m. tonight. I'm in Central Time in the United States. Tune on in. We'll have a good talk. I want you to bring any type of input that you have there too. It's an open source project. Thank you guys for watching today. Hey, enjoy your Sunday. We'll talk more later. Like, comment, subscribe. Take care. Bye.